Okay, we're starting a new week in our multimedia design and development class, and as a reminder too, this class is about kind of those just the nuts and bolts of multimedia design. How do you make multimedia? And some of you are educators, some of you aren't, but most of us have that in common that we want to be educators as someone who's teaching other people. And so I think it is important to think about what the book talked about, how graphic design ultimately means communicating our message well with other people. And so if we don't communicate our message very well, that means a lack of learning happening is in the case of education that the learning will not happen. So good design, good graphic design will help that learning to happen. So with your graphic design project, that's why I think that's a part of this class really from a teaching and learning perspective is that good graphic designs really do help people have better experiences, better communication to people, and better learning ultimately. But almost anything we do involves some graphic design. If we can design it a little bit better, take some of the tips that you've learned from the past unit, and when you think about creating slides or creating presentations or posters or whatever it is you create, try to use some of those principles of design and elements of design in your work. The same is true for web though too. We're moving into web design and development this week and talking about this, and I think any user of the web should have some knowledge of the background and how the web is working behind the scenes a little bit. So this next unit helps us to do that. It's an opportunity to get your feet wet into a little HTML and web design and development. And so this week there's actually a very simple HTML page project due at the end of the week called the Simple HTML Page. And I'll just click on that and show you what it's all about. Your assignment is to create a simple HTML page, and for some of you this might be the first web page that you create that uses straight HTML. Be sure to type in the code into your text editor and then save the file as index.html, and also please make the text in your file to be different from what you've learned in class. So there's a video that you'll be watching in class. Don't leave everything the same and don't just do exactly what the video shows. Change things up a little bit. Change the title to your site, and also make sure that you change the body text, and you can change those to whatever you want. That way I know you didn't just follow what I told you in the videos, but you have something different then. So include those tags that are required, the HTML, head, title, body, and meta tags, and then upload the finished web page file to the appropriate Dropbox in D2L. So that's the assignment for this week, is just to do that. There are videos and other things that will show you how to do that as you look back. So there's textbook chapter 13, read the designing for the web chapter there. It talks about some of the specifics, how to design for the web. Some of the things that are important, I think, is that graphics cannot be too big for the web. They have to be small in file size so that they can load quickly on the web. And then this is talking about simple HTML. So it asks you to look at some of these tags given in the link here and see what the tags are all about that are listed in here. And then also follow along, this presentation showing how to make a web page and how to do the assignment. So that's what you need to do this week. Also, probably some of you are still finishing up your graphic design work. I've given you feedback on those, and so the requirement is for you to take that feedback and to resubmit it, and then once you resubmit it, I'll give you a grade. But you can just resubmit it in the same place where you submitted it originally, and I'll give you that grade as you talk about it. So, but just moving into web design and development, again, it's important to think about just using the web. I know that I don't expect, for instance, a lot of teachers to know HTML to make a page, for instance, for their class using just HTML language. But you probably have noticed, if you haven't, you should check this out, that any kind of website that you might use, like Wix or Weebly or Google Sites, to create a website yourself, they make it really easy and nice. But sometimes you have to get into that back end and you have to get into that HTML that those are based on and make changes there to make it work. And so having some basic HTML knowledge and skill will be really helpful for that. Any kind of web experience that you need to make or create online, it really helps to know and understand a little bit about HTML in order to do that successfully. So that's what this next unit's really about, helping you to do that and helping you to be savvy, I guess, about web HTML usage. So that's what we're going to started. Good luck for this week and enjoy creating a little HTML page.